Hi, way up there.
Time delay.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome. I really don't know a whole lot of you, but my name's David Dudenhoefer. I am the Deputy State Coordinator of Michigan Campaign for Liberty. And how many of you have heard of Campaign for Liberty? Okay, some have not. Okay, Campaign for Liberty, for those of you who have not heard of it, it's a grassroots organization. We came out of the Ron Paul campaign, the second one, technically, the 2007 one. After the campaign, some folks just had a ton of energy, enthusiasm, wanted to channel it into something productive, and out of that thought process came the Campaign for Liberty. And what we do is effectively set up local groups like this sort of a gathering, all over the country, with the goal of affecting change in the political area. So all politics being local, you want to see your local government running better, you got to get involved, you got to get engaged, and getting folks involved, building up your email list, your contacts, and we revolve our group around issues. So most of what we deal with are civil liberties issues, privacy issues, and property issues. And then some taxation issues that will revolve around those. So if you think about it, it really does encompass a whole lot. And they really are throwing us a bunch of curveballs every day with the type of legislation that's being put out there. And local government isn't much better, and you see what's going on here in Detroit. So in Michigan, we are probably one of the largest state groups, I'm proud to say. And we've just got a ton of people who are enthusiastic, driven towards wanting to make positive change, and they've decided to come and work with us. And we will work with different groups that are out there, providing that our interests are the same, with the same goals in mind. And so what we've seen is an increase in participation by the citizens based on the issues that most of us care about. Property taxes, privacy issues, private property issues. And most recently, we got involved in something where Alex is from, in Livonia. There was a school bond issue that came up. And they wanted to tax the citizens for roughly $195 million for upgrades, new computers, different things for the kids, so they said. But then when we did some digging, we found that 175 additional million would go towards brokerage fees from the borrowing of the money. They were going to go through Wall Street, servicing the debt. And so this isn't a good thing. This isn't positive for the people paying this tax. So with the limited amount of resources that we had, we put together these mailers, and we went throughout a handful of the districts, and we were able to reach some folks. Now, not to the scale that we wanted, but we certainly did have an effect, because that vote, the end result was we came closest than any other school bond issue throughout the state in defeating it. And so just a few more folks and a few more mailers and a few more people getting involved, and I really believe we would elect that thing. And that's just because people got off the couch, stopped talking about it in the kitchen table, and started doing something about it. And so that's really what we're all about, is the philosophy is there, but now let's translate it into action. So recently we have now come into Detroit, where I live. I live just a few blocks away. And we're getting involved in Detroit's local issues. So recently, a group of us went over to Eastern Market with some petitions to talk to folks about what's been going on in Detroit economically, and does this city and its citizens deserve a tax break? And I think they do. I think they're paying a ridiculous amount of money in a city that is largely desolate, if you think about the other cities that are paying less in taxes than we are in the city of Detroit. And obviously there's corruption's just gone amok. But what it does is it creates an avenue for discussion, to open up discussion to people who would otherwise probably not pay attention to what's going on, or that there was something that could be done. And it gets people talking, and so and it gets them involved, it gets them engaged. And I believe, as many do, that in our government, in our system of government, you've got this two sort of layer system, and it's your elected officials doing their job, but it's also the citizens doing their job. And when we start to fall off and get apathetic, that's when these guys run amok. So our purpose is to just kind of bring back that balance. Will it be perfect? No. In the system, there's no system that's perfect. But this apathy that we've seen for the past decades in this country has just got to end. And I think the more that people are seeing, you know, with the corruption and the taxes and the debt, and even to a large extent the Federal Reserve and printing money out of thin air, what's going on with that, people are starting to wake up to that. You know, Dr. Paul did his part, but it's really been us. And it's really been, you know, what you're seeing in the market. I mean, the market doesn't lie, and the economy doesn't lie. They can fudge all they want, but you know, people are hurting. I mean, when your shoe shine guy's telling you that his supplies, the cost of his supplies is doubled, and he can't make it, and what is that saying for big business? What's that saying for you know, the small businesses? What's that saying for all of us? So, I think, personally, I think that the federal government is probably just a bit out of reach for us. Just my opinion. But I think and believe, and I'm seeing, that the changes can be made in the states and in the municipalities. And I really do believe that all politics is local, and I really do believe that the more we get involved, I think that you're already seeing the changes. The discussion is changing. The narrative is changing. The attitude is changing amongst those who write law, those who sort of control, if you will. I think that shift is happening. And the more we get involved, the control, I believe, is going to shift towards us, where it should be, the citizens. And I think through the philosophy, the freedom philosophy, the message of freedom, that is for all of us, we can take back this country, and we can do it through the cities, through our neighborhoods, and through the states where it should be done. So there is a couple of different things that we're working on now. Next Saturday, the 19th, there is going to be an activist powwow, they're calling it a powwow, up at Central Michigan at the Soaring Eagle Casino, where there is going to be one of the largest gatherings of local activists from different parts of the state gathering to discuss these type of issues and the philosophies and the areas that we agree upon. Because I don't care if it's an objectivist group, if it's a capitalist group, if it's Campaign for Liberty, left-wing groups, whatever it is, there are common threads that human beings can all agree upon. And there are going to be areas where we're always going to disagree. And I'm okay with that. Because if you can agree with somebody 75% of the time, you generally call them your best friend, right? So let's find the areas we agree upon and let's work on those, because there's enough out there that we can work on, that we can fix in the areas that we agree upon. So that's really, I'm hoping that's what comes out of that, where we come together independently and leave independently. And so, and you're all welcome to come up there. It's open to the public. Anybody can come up. You can offer up ideas. There'll be a networking session. I will be speaking on the role of a precinct delegate. How many here are precinct delegates? A few of you? How many here who are not have no idea what a precinct delegate is? You've never heard of it? Okay. In the two major political parties, you have what's called a precinct delegate. It is an elected position. You'll probably win by a vote of 4-0, you know, because not many people vote for it. It's on the back end, okay? But the role that a precinct delegate plays is crucial. It's just that it's never been taken advantage of until we started taking advantage of it in the past couple of years. The precinct delegate has an effective role in determining the type of candidates we get at the local level, at the state level, and even at the federal level. And there's spots in each party based on the demographics of where you live for some 8,000 to 12,000 spots, and you might have 4,000 or 5,000 filled. But we're doing our best to fill in these holes. And what happens is you have these conventions, and you elect people to go to these state conventions, and then you have all of these candidates that are running for office, and they rely on us to support them and to get the word out about them. And in some states, not this one, but in some states, it's the delegates who select the nominees from each party. They whittle down these, sort of talkers from the doers, from the good candidates from the bad, and they come up with a candidate that's philosophically close to what they believe in. So depending on the makeup of the party and of the precinct delegates, that would help determine the type of candidates that you get. Now what I'm trying to do in Michigan, what our group is trying to do, is alter that where Michigan becomes one of those states where the delegates get to select the nominees. And that does two things. That means that the delegates, who are generally the higher informed voter, because they're involved in the parties, Democrat or Republican, whichever you choose, they are the ones essentially picking the nominees. The other thing that it's doing is that it's saving the taxpayer some $8 to $10 million per year, per primary election, because that's what the public pays. The public pays for primaries. And the silliness of that is that the parties are private organizations. So it'd be like belonging to an Elks Club and walking outside the building and asking the guy walking on the street to come on inside and select the president or select the officers. You wouldn't do that. So why would we ask the public, who may not know who these candidates are, who would be influenced by biased media, slick ads, and a lot of money, to vote for somebody who would turn out to be less than ideal for them? So if you have the party picking it, the party's paying for it, then they take that nominee, be it a local election or a federal election, and they present that to the general public during the general election. I think you would have two distinctively different candidates, okay, at least from the major parties, and that the public would have a better idea of saying, okay, this person is completely over here and this is what they believe, and this person is over here and this is what they believe. I can figure this out. As opposed to this constantly, one overlaps the other and you don't know really what they believe in, and they're talking out of both ends of their mouth. And that's really what we've been left with. In particular in these primary states where the taxpayer is flipping the bill for these things. So this is another area that we're going after. And so we do have chapters all over the state of Michigan. And as I said, we've got a Wayne County chapter, and just recently we started a Detroit chapter, and we're going to, I believe we're getting it started here in Wayne State. So we're going to find a suitable facility, meet up, discuss local Detroit issues. How many are from Detroit? A few of you, okay. And if you're not, how many are from Wayne County? Okay, more of you. So between the Wayne County meeting and the Detroit meeting, you'll be able to come, offer up ideas. We offer up some strategies that have been time-tested from different organizations in the past that use these strategies. Essentially, it's just confrontational politics. Essentially, it's just the idea of challenging the establishment, challenging these people, getting them to do what we want. And I don't care if they believe in it or not. I just want them to do what we want. That's going to benefit the people. It's going to benefit the citizens, and not benefit the folks at the top with the money, with the influence, the dictators, the tyrants. I'm tired of it, and I think most people are tired of it. And I think most people are looking for an avenue to affect the kind of change that they want to see that's effective. And so we offer that, and we look forward to folks helping us out. And so if you're interested, there's a Campaign for Liberty sign-up sheet here somewhere, and we can, right here, Chris has it, and you're welcome to sign up for at least our mailers and get the information about issues that we're dealing with. And if it's something you care about and you want to help, then we need your help. Because the whole idea is it's a numbers game. If we bring more numbers to the table than the opposition, we win. So, and as I said, we're already seeing examples of that in communities where they've implemented these strategies and they're winning. So I believe that can happen all over. And with your help, I'm looking forward to some really positive changes in at least my community. And that's asking a lot in Detroit. But anyway, so let me turn it over to Alex, who's going to present the speaker. And thanks for your attention. I appreciate it.
Hello, everyone. So if you're on my email list, then you probably already know my hook for this, which is that today, Dr. Andrew Bernstein, author of several books, an award-winning professor of philosophy, outstanding teacher in 2004 from the State University of New York, Purchase, and internationally renowned lecturer. He's going to be here. He's right here, actually. And he's going to be speaking on why capitalism is the only moral economic system. And now you get to find out why thousands of people have attended his lectures at places like Harvard University, U of M, and elsewhere. Thanks, Andy.